Alright guys, well, that's the logo of the company that I bought my parts from. So, this is the box that it came in. Really well packaged, taped together. Of course it don't fit now because I've been rooting around in there, got all my parts out. But this came from Brillman. If you guys are looking for parts for your tractor, you know, they take pride in their stuff. Made in Virginia, right there, USA, right on it. So they make or sell all kind of electrical parts and stuff. They threw in a big old thick, big old beefy catalog. I like that. You don't get that stuff anymore. I ordered, you know, if you've seen my last video, ordered plug wires. There they are right there. And if you can see that, solid copper, well, it's braid, it's copper braid, but copper plug wires. So I'm real happy about that. This is the rotor in here. The little two-prong John Deere rotor. Let's get that out here. Maybe this end. Anyhow, I've been in this stuff. It looks real good. I just stuck it back in the box. So the rotor looks good. You know, it's spring holds it on there. So I got our new rotor and this fancy piece here, buddy. I'm telling you what, this is going to dress that little tractor right up. The new cap for the mag, it looks sharp. Very well packaged again. Bubble wrap on the inside. They got the gasket with it. Gasket and cap come together and the screws stay on there too. But looks real good. Nice shiny black Wyco cap. Looks just like original. I don't know if Wyco manufactures these anymore. Probably outsourced somewhere, but looks real good. Contacts inside look a whole lot better than what we got out there, and the corners are all good. So I'm real happy about this. The packaging was excellent. I mean, they stuffed some old newspaper in there. Packaging was excellent. It came in a very timely manner. I think it's 3 days after I ordered it. I could not be happier about this. And again, this came from Brillman. Anyhow, I am tickled to death with this Brillman stuff. We're going to get it out there, get it put on the tractor, and I'll update you when I do. Alright guys, so you can see our shiny new cap on. The mag looks good. It's all cleaned up. The cap looks great, and it's functional. I got my plug wires on. So I'm real happy with the wires. Put the new rotor inside there, got the new cap on it. I was bouncing around in that Brillman catalog. They actually sell that nameplate, that Wyco nameplate for your mag. Now that would dress it up tremendously. For $7, comes with rivets and all. You know, it's all pretty dolled up. It's you know, the red logo and everything. I didn't even imagine that you could buy that logo, but that would really dress up that mag. So anyhow, that's $7 I probably won't spend, but you know, that just tells you how extensive that Brillman's inventory is. So what I did that last night, and I put the mag on. It's just about vertical. I set the impulse time to top dead center, set the mag vertical, got the #1 top cylinder firing at the impulse. So I was able to get the tractor to start last night. Unfortunately, it didn't run any better than it did before. So it's popping and backfiring real bad, but I'm able to get it to start. So in order to time the thing, you gotta have it running. So that's a good thing. So I wanted to make sure I could get it running. Now here's the setup on timing this tractor. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so bear with me here, guys. I'm gonna say something stupid, somebody's gonna catch it, and I'm gonna sound like an idiot. But here's what I'm doing. I'm doing exactly what this says. Mr. Dwayne Larson posts this on his website, and we talked about this before. Dwayne passed away, but his wife maintains that website, jd2cellservice.com. Go check that out, and it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to measure your flywheel, how to calculate the distances for the degrees of advance. And so what I did was, my flywheel was kind of greasy and grimy. I wiped it down good with brake parts cleaner to get my tape to stick, because it says in here to mark it up with chalk. I just know chalk wouldn't hold up. So I put little pieces of Scotch tape, or masking tape, and I measured from that dot along the outside of the flywheel And according to my calculations, that's the distances for, this is an unstyled, this is I believe 1936. Well, there's a serial right there. I don't know if it's going to come up or not. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure this is a 36. I'd have to look it up again. So if your flywheel is 53.75, 53 3/4 inches around the outside, take your string, wrap it around, and measure your string. These are the distances. So I've got it marked up here. So what I'm going to do is start the tractor up, and while it's running, I want to see what my timing looks like right now. Because see, when you hand start, this is what I'm just realizing. That's what this whole impulse timing thing is. Impulse cup on the back of the mag makes like 2 sets of timing for a tractor. The first set of timing is when the impulse cup is engaged in the mag. This is my understanding now, guys. Maybe I'm wrong here, but my understanding is that impulse cup allows it's a spring-loaded action. So it loads up and then snaps, and that snap is what creates the spark. So rolling this flywheel by hand is so slow that without that spring-loaded action, you wouldn't roll the flywheel fast enough to make a decent spark with a mag. So at low speeds, when you're starting it, that impulse cup is loading up and snapping, loading up and snapping, and that's what making the spark. Once the tractor catches fire, and I'm kind of thinking it only needs a putt or two to spin that thing fast enough that the springs are centrifugally held open then on that impulse cup, and then the mag is running on run timing, and it's got to do with the lag angle setting on the back of the mag. So anyhow, it describes how to set both those timings in these instructions. So do that. So anyhow, that's my understanding. So once I get it started and running, puking and choking and backfiring and all, you got to have an external battery source for your timing light. You put the clamp from the timing light on your number 1 cylinder, and then I'm going to hold the timing light even on a level plane with the dot. So I'm going to hold it right here. This is what it's going to look like over here, and I'm going to shoot right there with that on the same horizontal plane as, I don't know if you can see my finger or not, the timing mark on the side of the case. So I want to be horizontal with this timing mark with my gun, and I'm going to be shooting the flywheel, and I'm going to see which one of my numbers are lighting up. So I probably won't get no video of that because I'm doing this all with, one hand and a whole bit. So I'm going to see where it's timed, and then depending on how it's timed, I'm going to be shooting for, it's got a 35-degree cup in it right now. That's for the distillate or kerosene. I only run gas in this thing, so the gas engines have a 25-degree cup. I'm going to shoot for probably close to 25. So we're going to see where it's running right now. That's why I marked it clear up to 45 and clear down to 20. I don't want to go that far, but I want to know if that's where it's running right now. So then I'm going to adjust my mag as it's running. I'm going to be twisting that mag and see how it affects this timing over here. So I'm hoping my timing is way out, and we're going to adjust it accordingly. So I hope that's all that's wrong with this tractor. So I'm going to start it up. I'm going to hit it with this timing light, and I'll update you guys here in a little bit. Alright guys, so you can see right there it's about 40 degrees. I want to change that, so let's see if it'll stay running here. So I moved the mag forward as far as it'll go. Now we're between 30 and 35. closer to 35. That is all the adjustment I get out of that mag. That's it. It's rotated all the way forward. Alright guys, so that last clip was kind of all over the place. I think you were upside down for a little while, but I was kind of scrambling around there. I wanted to make sure I got a timing reading before the damn thing died. So anyhow, I'm not able to get the correct timing, or the timing that I want, by rotating the mag, and that's kind of what I expected. So now I'm going to do this. I'm going to change the timing between the governor gear and the cam gear. I think it's the cam gear that the governor rides on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try message Zeke the Antique Freak. He does some really good videos on this old stuff. Check him out, Zeke the Antique Freak. Sent a message on one of his videos where he was talking about timing the governor, and he replied back that he thinks that rather than lifting the whole case, the whole governor case up and rotating the gear, he's thinking that I might be able to just take these, just take this cap off the end, lift that gear up, rotate it, and set it back down, or I guess I'll be rotating it that way. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna take these 4 bolts out. There should be spring tension on this, so I don't know if I get a video of that or not, but that's how I'm gonna try to access my gear. Alright guys, so I got the end off the governor there. You can see there's a bearing comes out with it. Be careful you don't lose your little balls. I tried my best. I cleaned up on the inside of the edge there and everything. I tried my best working that gear in and out and lifting up. I just cannot get rotation out of that gear. So I'm going to have to lift the box, the whole governor box. I want to say there's, what is there, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. There's one around back. Anyhow, I'm going to raise this box up just enough where I can spin that gear 1 tooth backwards is what it says. So it says raise the box, turn it 1 tooth backwards. So I'm going to turn it counterclockwise, and I hope that's what that means, because I would think backwards would be, well, I don't know. I'm going to turn it, raise it up, turn it 1 tooth that way, which would be counterclockwise, and hope that's it. I'll put it back together and I'll update you then. Well, as you can see, I got her all back together, and I can tell you unequivocally, without question, that 1 tooth backwards does not mean counterclockwise. So I'm going to have to take it all back apart, and I'm going to rotate it clockwise 2 teeth now. I'll catch you up in a bit. Okay guys, so I took the cover off, I loosened the bolts, I took my, got a gasket scraper with a kind of a sharp edge, and I used that to get up under this edge, and I had all these bolts loose, and I kind of pried up with my gasket scraper, and I rotated that gear clockwise this time, 2 teeth now, because before I rotated it 1 tooth counterclockwise, it got worse. So I went back, I went clockwise this time, and here's a tip for you guys. This governor shaft is on a spring. It's spring loaded. I'm pushing right there, and I mean, it's got a little give to it, but make sure when you take that apart, your bearing stays good. Make sure your bearing is good. Make sure you don't lose any balls if your bearing's not great. I would say if the balls are coming out of it, you need to replace it. But make sure you get your bearing set back on that shaft right. And this amount of gap here, I mean, I can stick my finger in there. It's a pretty good amount. This is enough gap to, if you don't have your mag removed, if you've just got your mag on there kind of loose, like I had it kind of loose before because I was adjusting it and stuff, so I didn't have it torqued down. Remove your mag when you take that end cover off of that governor, because what happens is that amount, this amount of play on that shaft, that whole shaft comes this way, and you go jacking with it, and you put it back in there, and then you should have some spring tension, so you don't even realize your lugs on your mag could be disengaged. These lugs may have come disengaged from the end of that shaft, And it might be, as you're bolting that cap down, you're actually mashing the lugs and putting pressure, you're putting your mag in a bind. I just did that, so heads up for that. If you're gonna, when you take this off, remove your mag too. So I'm gonna put this cover back on. I'm going to set my impulse time, and to do that, I'm gonna verify. I'm gonna pull this spark plug out, make sure I'm on a compression stroke for this cylinder, and I want to watch when my impulse mark comes up onto my timing mark on the case. If it's not jiving exactly, I'm going to have to adjust my ring, the impulse stop ring on the back side of the mag here. You got to have that impulse time right or it won't start. So I may have to loosen up these 4 bolts and rotate that ring. So that's where I'm at right now. Alright guys, so I got it fired up and I've been modifying the angle on the mag, pushing it forward and backward. I did a little tweaking on my idle screw here. I opened it up because it's backfiring real bad, so I opened up my idle screw and I'm shooting it now. It sounds really good. I'm shooting it now and it's between 25 and 30. You look right at that mark, it's probably closer to 30. So I can maybe adjust that just a fuzz. Probably want to lean just a little more toward 25. So there's just a fuzz. Don't really hear anything different. And again, it's between 25 and 30, so that's just about what I want. So now I got to, I'm sure since I've adjusted that mag, I've now thrown my impulse timing out. So now that my run time is set where I want it, I'm going to mark the mag according to the instructions again. I'm going to mark this mag very clearly where I can put it back just exactly how I took it off. And I'm going to adjust the impulse timing on that ring on the back of the mag. Again, this is on those instructions, so I'll catch you up here in a bit. Well guys, the sound of that engine pretty well speaks for itself here. Had to tweak my idle screw just a little bit, but I mean this thing is running beautifully. It started right up. Rolled it over just a couple times, fired right up. So I got my impulse timing set according to that paperwork, and now I'll show you the run timing again. We are, well, there we go. We are just below 30. I'm gonna guess it's about the angle. If I hold the angle of the camera different or whatever, it looks a little different, but I'm going to say we're about 28 degrees. 28, 29 degrees, so that's just about exactly what I was shooting for. Again, go to that JD 2-Seal Service website and oh man, I can't even kill it now. Look at that. You want to talk about time just right. Gee whiz. Look at that. Wow. Okay guys, well, I'm going to do what I can to get this thing to shut off. Maybe I'll choke it out. Here we go. Yeah, buddy. So anyhow, that's how you time your run timing and your impulse timing on your John Deere 2-cylinder. And I'm doing just exactly what it says in this paperwork here. And remember, when it says backward, that means clockwise. So that was the big mistake I made, and it probably cost me an extra hour of jacking around with this thing. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button. If this helped you, I sure hope it did. My videos are not entertaining by any means, but I'm trying to help the next guy. So if this video helped you out at all, click that thumbs up button, click the subscribe button. You'll get to see everything else I'm working on. I'm gonna jack around with this tractor a little bit more. So anyhow, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.